Hello and welcome to episode 47 of From Impossible to Inevitable. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your love and support. Of course, check the show notes for any links that I might have for you, including the YouTube version of this episode if you would like to watch it. Today, I have a small but mighty idea for you. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, but when I heard it, it stuck with me ever since. And that is the idea that when you say something followed by the word but and then something else, what people really hear and focus on more of a subconscious level is whatever you said after the word but. So if you were to say, I love pizza, but I hate the grease, what people subconsciously focus on is that you hate the grease on pizza. They don't actually hear that you love pizza on a deeper level. So instead of saying that, you could say, I love pizza and I hate the grease. And that would then the whole thing would come together as one idea. The word but kind of truncates, and whatever you said before that gets disregarded, and whatever you said after that is what actually comes across as the idea. There's research on this. Go forth and look it up. Um, and if you need that. However, I think it's a really interesting idea, and as I have paid attention to this in other people's speech and in my own speech, it's really proven true to me. So maybe pay attention for a little bit and see how this um, interesting knowledge comes across to you. So I want you to use this as a tool in your life. I want you to use this situation as a benefit for you. Because a lot of the times when we are in conversation with people and we use the word but, what we really mean is and, because we want the whole idea to come across. We don't want just half of the idea to come across. We want the whole idea to come across. You don't want somebody to say, I'm really proud of you, but I wish you had done this. What you hear is you don't really feel that they're proud of you. All you hear and feel is that they wish you had done this. That's what comes across. What they should say instead, for the whole idea to come across, is I'm really proud of you and the work that you've done or this thing that you've accomplished. I wish you had incorporated this. So, or, that is two separate sentences. The whole idea comes across. They're proud of you and they would like changes. Or you could say, I'm really proud of you and I wish this. The whole idea comes across. Okay, so that is a digression because we want to use the word but to our advantage. We want to be able to truncate two ideas to communicate to your own subconscious what you actually want it to focus on. So today's idea is to look for the good. Okay. So when you're stuck in traffic, you say, I am frustrated that I'm stuck in traffic, but I'm glad I'm not in an accident. What you want your subconscious to focus on is, I'm glad I'm not in an accident. That's what you want it to focus on. That's positive. It's encouraging. It's uplifting. You've said your bit about hating being stuck in traffic, so you can feel like you got that out. However, your subconscious and anybody who's in the car with you, they resonate, they hear the last part that you said. I'm really glad I'm not stuck in an accident. So whenever you're faced with something like that, you can use this word but to look for the good. Our impulses a lot of the times are negative. And so we'll say things like I hate traffic. I hate being stuck in traffic. And that's already out there. You've already thought it, you've already said it, and follow that up with but, and then something good. But I'm glad I'm in the car with my kids. but I'm glad I have an audiobook. But I'm glad I'm going wherever I'm going because it's going to be really fun when we get there. But I'm glad our car's not broken down. But I'm glad I have a car to be stuck in traffic in. But whatever it is, you can look for the good in the situation. And that is prevalent no matter what it is. If you've got a neighbor that annoyingly parks in front of your driveway, you can say, I hate that they parked in front of my driveway. That's really obnoxious, but I'm glad they didn't park on my grass. Or, but I'm glad I have a relationship with them and I can ask them to move it. But I'm glad they're in the process of moving it. But I'm glad I have a driveway. But I'm glad it's sunny. Whatever it is, even if it's unrelated, okay? You can follow up the negative with something positive. Your subconscious will focus on the positive, and anybody you are around, if you say it out loud, will focus on the positive. Isn't that a fun trick? I think it's delightful. And you can focus, like anything that's negative or hard or disappointing, you can choose to look for the good in the moment, in any situation, whether it's the sun shining, whether it's being able to breathe. Every time I get sick, I think about, oh my gosh, I take being able to breathe at night for granted so much. And so after I'm sick, once the congestion is over, I'll lay in bed at night and just like enjoy being able to breathe easily. So it can get as granular as you have to get it in order to find something good, because there is something good in that moment. There's the sunshine, or there's the breeze, or maybe you prefer cold weather and it's cold outside, or maybe it's the AC in your car, or maybe it's the heated steering wheel, or maybe it's an audiobook or a friend you can just text and be like, hey, I hope you're having a great day. Even if your day sucks, there's always something good you can find. We tend to feel like we need to say the bad and acknowledge the bad all the time. And what I love about this little trick is that it allows you to do that. Okay, get it out. Traffic sucks. Go ahead. Just let it go. And what's good about this moment? What is good about this? Yes, somebody is driving super slow in front of me, but I'm glad I won't get a ticket, because there's no way I can get a ticket because I'm going under the speed limit because of this guy in front of me. But I'm really glad about that. Do you see what I'm saying? You get the vibe. So, as you are out in the world today, think about this. Listen for how people use the word but and what you actually retain, and use this little trick to your advantage when you find something negative going on. And it's also a good trick when you accidentally lead with something negative with a friend or a spouse or a kid, and you're like, you always leave your shoes out. But I am so glad that your room's clean. Or, but I am so grateful you are so sweet. But I am so glad you're reading to your little sister, or whatever it is. Follow that up with something good. Because it happens. It happens. You get really frustrated. There's something that's happening and you just lose it for a minute. And then you can follow it up with, but I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad that if I ask you to put them away, that you will put them away. Or sometimes I even say that in like, you always leave your shoes out, but I'm so glad you're putting them away right now, as like a hint of like, go ahead, put them away. Shoes being out is such a thing in my house. And then it's like, then they just throw them in their room instead of actually putting them away on the shoe rack. So there's an empty shoe rack. Anyways, it's a thing. Doesn't matter. So use this trick today. Okay. See how it makes you feel. See how it raises the mood. Use it as a little game. And then pay attention when you use the word but, when you really mean and, when you want to convey a whole idea instead of truncating it and only focusing on the latter half. That's just kind of a side bonus to this whole episode, but it's a really fun idea and it's really useful in communication. So, anyways, that's what I have for you today. It was longer of an episode than I anticipated, but it's a really fun idea. And I want you to go have fun with it and let it change your mood. Let it lighten whatever you're dealing with, whatever negative thing comes up. I hope you have a fantastic day with all the sparkly things. Bye for now.